So I had what was nothing short in the best comment in my entire I don't know what you would call it, blogging internet career, because you could have comments and blogs. I've been blogging since about 2004. Time has flown by. Who knew that would be better paying than a college degree? I remember having a girlfriend one time when it was like, I don't like your blogging. It's so pessimistic and negative. Where am I now? Look at this. Look at this. But I've had what is nothing short of, I think, the best comment in all my online media. I'm going to read it for you because I think it's very insightful and is information I did not know. And I maybe it is an opinion or a thought or a theory, but damn, it's good. And I think it has merit, so I wanted to read it here. This is on the video. What is the video? The Clary podcast, the Sexless White Males in Minneapolis episode. I won't mention his name because I don't know if he wants the attention. Humans in their this was in regards to the freak that I posted up there on the thumbnail shot, everybody. Humans and their societies evolved amid scarcity. If you remove scarcity from the environment, the person or society, then pathology is guaranteed. This was why the mouse utopia experiment proved catastrophic. The mice evolved in scarcity. Lacking scarcity in the early years stunts the brain. The brain fails to develop the virtues which are only required in environments which possess scarcity. Here's the rub. All virtues evolve because of scarcity. Virtues are the preservation of future options by avoiding hedonism in the present. Brilliant single sentence right there. Some of these virtues are built in, but are unformed without experience. Some people require a lot more forming than others, so lack of scarcity creates a horror show of a human. And this goes back to the Clary test, where I pointed out nearly every psychopath dictator, all of them came from wealth. All of them. Like, the pretty boy up in Canada. This is why most psychopaths aren't criminal psychopaths. Their parents shaped their lives with boundaries. Criminal psychopaths are almost always those who were neglected by parents and allowed to form without boundaries. A psychopathic, and the guy with the tattoos in the face. A psychopathic child without boundaries loses the capacity to acquire them very early on, before the teen years. Virtues are instilled until the child locks them in. Some kids require harder work because they lack the natural proclivities for certain virtues. Thus, in the mouse utopia experiment, all natural proclivities ran rampant without boundaries, as social virtues only develop amid scarcity, which was removed from the mice in the experiment. Every vice which wasn't punished with scarcity was allowed to fester into full-blown pathology. No animal, no man, and no society will remain whole amid infinite resources or the illusion that there's infinite resources. Even so, this may be a feature and not a bug. A feature designed to ensure the populations which believe the resources are infinite will collapse their own population, because if they don't do it ASAP, nature will destroy them later. And when nature destroys, it destroys the whole species forever after, when all the food runs out. I have talked about this before, but may not in such specific words. Is for the producer parasite balance. And this may sound a little bit Malthusian, but forget the battle between socialism and freedom, and that's what it is: slavery versus freedom. You got to be worried about the parasite to producer ratio, because if we produce more and more parasites through government aid and just paying people not to work, and concurrently running with what productive increases technology will allow for in the future, soon you will get to the point that even with technological advances, there is a Malthusian limit to the amount of economic production the productive people can create to support a forever increasing class of parasites. And unless you get replicator technology, there will be a finite end, and the food will go away. And he'll be like, communists, we gotta kill the farmers because we know so much better. We have degrees in the liberal arts. And that's going to happen. It's going to happen. Food runs out. Mankind evolved as other species before now. Those species only survived in their times because they developed every manner of adaptive social traits for nearly any potential environment, including plenty, though plentiful resources are a rarity. But they're a rarity, which is always fatal because it implies a species which is so successful at eating and reproduction that they will never be able to survive long term because they'd outstrip their land and food. Evolution placed these social features deep in our monkey brains. Even mice possess them. All social animals possess them. We wouldn't have survived without adaptive traits for all environments, which are possible in this reality over billions of years. Even so, evolution also evolved some of us to be strong men who were born of strong men who impose boundaries. I'm a very disagreeable man, so much so that I won't even allow myself to break my own principles. I simply can't allow it. We're the men who watch and wait until others get on the same page so our actions won't be in vain. Or maybe we'll just let the whole thing burn while we sit in our bunkers. Yep. Yep. Good. There you go. Best comment I've ever seen in 18 years of internet writing and podcasting and blogging. That was absolutely brilliant. I have not thought of that. But by gum, by howdy. You petulant little children, you soft little kids in the suburbs and the ghettos and the barrios and the trailer parks who all live off of free money, whether it's daddies or the government's, you're so screwed. You're so screwed. And for those of you who are, kind of the enjoy the decline type, or just the sanity, the lack of sanity, I should say the lack of sanity, you're going to find out quick, especially in today's world, that merely logical statements like this have so much value. And talking to someone that has their head out of their ass is going to have so much value today. Then I was going to say in the future, that's why I wrote Sanity is the Future of Wealth. But now it's just finding someone like, look, you need to work for a living. And how rare is it to find someone that no one just to, agree with that, but will actually do it? You can't find it. You can't find it. And I will immediately, among other variables and reasons like a mom not being around, being raised by a leftist mother or not being raised at all, a non-participatory father, certainly all that, psychology industry and all that. But being raised with plenty and having no checks, having no boundaries, and you could see the kid, like no one loved the kid enough to say, hey, stop putting marks on your face with tattoos. Hey, maybe you ought to hit the gym. Like no one intervened, no one stopped them, no one put any boundaries on him. Gee, he failed to develop virtues because everyone's a trophy. Everyone gets a trophy. Everyone's a winner. And then slowly but surely, when life wasn't going the way everybody, including the booby-tooby and the Democrats party promised it, gee, he struck out. I made the observation again. It was in the podcast, but it's more germane or poignant than I realized originally. When you hear him shooting, he's just pew, 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 pew. He's not lining up his shots. Because this guy was such a weak, lazy person, he wouldn't aim. He just wanted to go through the experience. He was too lazy to even aim. Probably too lazy to even come up with, well, I'm going to kill these people because they did this bad thing. At least it might have been a logic. It was just too lazy for that. None of you existed. He had no empathy. You raised a psychopath. Legit. And then you're, oh my God, I don't know. I'm like, oh, look at the background. Was there a strong father figure that said no? There wasn't. Was there a society that was like, oh my God, you're beautiful tattoo? What, we'd all just become a bunch of fake women in high school? Like, were we all just like, oh, Tina, you just look great with that tattoo all over your neck? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And as time goes on, I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to die, right? The more and more I see how irresponsible society is, either on the individual level or societal level, or for their own family or their own children or themselves, I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? I really kind of want to see it. I want to see it decay. I want to see it collapse. I almost want to see it happen. Because if it didn't, then okay, I would have been wrong. Not that I'm so vain, like I have to be right, but it would have proved, yeah, you're sane. You know what you're talking about. But just to see it, yep, I was right. God damn. And if anyone reads my books or takes in my content, they'll know they're right too. And they won't have to have psychopath. But just so you know, there's more of this coming. There's more of this coming. None of you raise these children right. I mean, you think the student loan crisis is bad because you lied to the millennials. Woo. You're still lying to the Gen Zers. And now you're lying to kids about their gender. I wonder how that's going to play out. I wonder. The irony, the millennials hate the boomers for lying to them. Yet currently the millennials are the generation that is telling even worse lies to their children. I wonder how it's going to work out. All right. Well, don't spank anybody. Spanking's bad. Remember Stephen Mullen who said so. Spanking is bad. Don't do that. All right. Link down below is Sanity is the Future of Wealth, as well as Enjoy the Decline. You might as well get How Not to Become a Millennial. I mean, if any of you young kids are like, man, I'm miserable. How do I avoid this misery? Well, read that guy's comment there as well. But you could get the book How Not to Become a Millennial. Look, your parents have failed you. I got you. I understand. But you're here on this planet. So do you want to enjoy it or not? Well, if you want to enjoy it, you better learn the laws of nature by which it operates and not believe in this thing called hope and change. There is a really pretty boy who talked about hope and change, and all the girls, men included, thought he was great and amazing. Like, hey, how's it going now? Yeah, rent is pretty high. Yeah, oh, look at that. Tuition hasn't solved itself. You could get the How Not to Become a Millennial, and you could save the remaining half of your life. All right. Any super chats? No super chats. Tomorrow I'll be on with Jack Napier. More on the way. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.